Ooh, oops. Welcome to the Jump Ball Show. I'm your host, Mo DeKeel, former video coordinator with the Clippers, Spurs, Team Australia, right for Bleacher Report, podcast for The Athletic, stream here on Twitch. Just got back from South Bend. No, Alex Grinch was not left behind, nor should he have been. Gatto's right. The defense wasn't actually the problem. The defense actually did a great job. The offense was awful, and on top of it, our special teams was awful. I blame him for other things, but our offense, whatever. We're not here to talk about Notre Dame SC, but it was fun. I had a great time. Notre Dame, beautiful campus, beautiful trip, fun trip. I hope to do it again next time we can get a win. Also, Chicago, just an awesome city. I ate a whole lot. But yes, folks, everybody, thank you for coming through. A couple of things here. I just want to kind of do some housekeeping things for you guys. Obviously, I'm still podcasting at The Athletic. I will only be on Nerder She Wrote this year. So I'll only be on there once a week. That's fine. That's what it is. Looking forward to another season with Dave and Seth. I believe we're recording and putting it up on Wednesday. So just be aware of that on Wednesdays. On top of that, we are going to be doing a lot here on Twitch. So I'm going to do a lot. I'm going to try to do, scheduling wise, it's going to be a bit difficult because I can't tell you guaranteed when I'm going to do things. But I'm going to try to do a couple shows a week. I'm going to try to do some post-game shows, right? And like we used to do, and try to pull some clips in there and things like that. Here's the most important thing, guys, and this is more a plea than anything else. I need your support. I need you guys to help out as much as you can. Come on Twitch, share it with your friends. I'm going to put stuff on YouTube that might just live only on YouTube. I need you to go to YouTube. I need you to go to TikTok. I need you to push the stuff on Twitter. All that stuff. So I need as much help as I possibly can. Because I'm not going to lie to you. It's getting increasingly tough to eke out an income here. And at a certain point, it might come where I just can't do it anymore. So I need your guys' help as much as possible. I'm hoping to do a lot here on Twitch, and keep things going. So again, I hope we can keep it going. Chat's already rolling. Love the chat. Chat going nuts. Darkness, I'm gonna miss podcasting with Zach. Even though he can drive me insane from time to time. But oh wow, Hellboy, I appreciate you gifting, making gift subscriptions to people. Thank you so much. Really, really means a lot. So please, as much support as possible with that stuff. The other thing too, we're going to we're going to do. I'm going to try to put more in the Discord too, and be more alive and active in the Discord. We're just going to try to do a lot of stuff, and see what sticks through the season, and we'll hopefully I won't flame out. But today is award season. I apologize. I wanted to do this on Thursday. My day got completely blown up on Thursday. From the morning basically to the night, I was nonstop, and then I was on a flight to, Wednesday. I want to do this on Wednesday. Thursday, I was on a flight to Chicago. But anyways, we're here award season, and as you guys are saying in the chat, bet responsibly. This is me guessing. This is me with some wild stuff here. We're gonna go through the top odds for some of these guys, for some of these awards and whatnot. We're going to use DraftKings and FanDuel numbers, so you guys can kind of figure that stuff out, and go through there. But please, everybody, be careful. Bet responsibly. Bet like this is money. It's okay if you lose. That's really the way you should gamble in general. If it's money you're like, man, I really need to eke this out to, pay rent, you need to not be gambling. Okay? And at that point, you need to seek help. So, folks, we're here now, and let's get to it. Give me a second. Let me get my little handy-dandy Google Excel sheet up, and we're going to the second page. And I need to adjust so you guys don't see the couch. All All right. We're just going straight into it, right? I hope everybody can see it. Jokic is the number one favorite for everybody in terms of winning the MVP. Right? Didn't win it last year. Embiid won it. FanDuel has it at plus 430. Jokic DraftKings has it at 450. Luka follows up next with the best odds, right? And it feels like he's just always getting the best odds. Hellboy shocking. Brunson not on the list. Luka plus 550 on FanDuel, plus 500 on DraftKings. Like, that's a big, in FanDuel, that's a huge drop off, right? Jokic plus 430, and then the next guy's at 550. Like, that's a good amount of stuff. A good amount of distance there. You have Giannis coming in 600 on FanDuel, 550 on DraftKings. Embiid 850, DraftKings 650. Tatum 750, 800. KD 1600 on FanDuel, 1400 on DraftKings. Curry 1400 on FanDuel, 1500 on DraftKings. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plus 1800 on FanDuel, plus 1600 on DraftKings. So my view of it, one, I'm already going to tell you, Joel Embiid's not winning the MVP. They're not going to give it to him. Right? He got it last year. It was almost like the Susan Lucci Award scenario type of thing. I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be very good this year. He's not winning it. To me, you can take him out. Right? Giannis has a great chance to. Giannis has a good chance. He's going to be paired with Dame. Dame's going to be unbelievable. He's going to be rolling to the rim left and right. Going to be impressive in that regard with he's just going to have so much more space that we haven't seen Giannis really get to play in for a long time. And we kind of saw it a little bit in their preseason game. And I'll do some video stuff throughout the week with a couple of things I saw in the preseason for us to kind of get ready for NBA season starts next week, guys. Going to be wild. Giannis has a pretty good shot. I don't like Luka at 550 or 500. Again, I don't think the Mavs are that good. Part of it is like if you're going to win the MVP, you got to be at least a top 3 team in the West, right? And I think I don't think the Mavs are going to be that. So I think that's a big one for them. The rest of the guys on the list I like. And in particular, there's the guy I think who's going to win it. I think we're getting a new MVP this year. I don't think we're getting somebody who won it in the last few years. I shouldn't say new, but I think the chances are pretty high. I think that we have somebody brand new. I like Jason Tatum. I like Tatum at 750 and 800. I think that is a good number here. I think they're going to have a good run in the East. I think they're going to be the number one team in the East. I think he's not going to have to do as much defensively with Drew Holiday there. I think it allows him to be a little more fresher offensively. I think this is going to be the year that Tatum kind of breaks through to that and is going to be the MVP. So the reasons why I'm not going with KD, and the reason why Booker is not on the list, Demo, I think those guys are going to sort of take away from each other. Right? Like, there's going to be some of that, and Beal as well. I think that's going to take away from those guys having to be on another level. And as good as Jaylen Brown is, still not sure he's on the level that would be like he takes away from Tatum's MVP votes, right? Like, that's kind of the view of it for me in that sense. If you want good value, I like Steph. If you want to just, let me just throw some money out there, I like Steph Curry as another potential candidate, right? Like, those are probably the two guys. I'm high on the Warriors. I'm higher on the Warriors than most people are. I think they're going to finish second in the West. I think they're going to be a surprise team if they could stay healthy, right? They're old, which scares me, but I think that team, I think the Chris Paul addition is huge for them, but we'll get to that later. Um, it's interesting. LeBron not being that high up there, I think, is more of a thing of people aren't sure he's going to be that healthy. I don't know if people trust that he's going to play as many games as he's going to play. So the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander thing. Shai is going to finish in the top 5 in MVP. I wish I could just make that a bet. The reason why I don't have Shai as my MVP is I don't think the Thunder are going to crack the top 4. I know Bill Simmons said that on a podcast. And listen, guys, I was on Oddball. I might have made that exact comment also on Oddball. That will come out pretty soon on the Metalark network. But I really don't think they're going to make that leap and be a top 4 team. So I think Shai's going to be unbelievable. But I don't think they're going to make that leap. And Gatto, I still don't think I still take the under on that. I don't think they're a top 4 team in the West. And part of it is the West is just so stacked. There are no nights off in the Western Conference, even the bad teams. Wemby's not going to be good enough to win the MVP, and the Spurs are not going to be good enough to get him into even the conversation. Yeah, right? Like, that's coming, but that ain't coming now. If I can make a futures bet and bet when Wemby might be able to do this, sure. Like, I might jump in on that. I'm curious about the Kings. I think there's a chance that there's a step back run for the Kings. We talked about it on the when I did the Western Conference team totals. I think it was last Tuesday. Somebody remind me if I'm wrong, if I did it Tuesday or Monday. Go watch that episode because we really dove into that. But I don't think anybody can really – I don't think Fox can do it again. I don't think Sabonis is going to be in there. Okay? So that's my view of it. I don't really have a dark horse for this. I think that's kind of where I'm at with the MVP. I think this is going to be Jason Tatum's year. If not, if I wanted to just kind of throw another 20, I'd probably put it on Steph Curry. Right? And you get better odds on DraftKings right now. I just don't think Luka's team is going to be good enough. I think Luka's going to be good this year. I think he's going to be great. But I don't think the team is going to be good enough. I think they have a lot of holes defensively and whatnot and still a lot of things to figure out. And I'm not sure if Jason Kidd's a good enough coach. All right. Rookie of the year, since we're bringing it up. We should double check these odds as well because I did these. I set this up for the show that was supposed to be on Wednesday. And then, as a one-man shop, didn't have a chance to sort of review these. Victor Wembanyama is the favorite on both websites. FanDuel plus 130, DraftKings 100, Scoot 270. I think this is wrong. Guys, give me a second. I need to check this again. See, I got to fix my setup here. Let me check the Rookie of the Year odds because I think that's changed on at least it's changed a little bit. Sorry, guys. This is, I know, thrilling stuff here. Yeah, FanDuel's changed their odds here a little bit. He is and isn't Philly. So let's just kind of go to it real quick. Oops. Let's see how we do this. Let me slide. Nope. This way. Get in there, guys. This is thrilling Twitch streaming stuff. So Chet is actually coming in at plus 320. Scoot at 370 on FanDuel. DraftKings has it a little bit different. Victor at plus 120. Scoot Henderson plus 240. Holmgren at 280. Brandon Miller plus 1600 on FanDuel's plus 2800. It's a three-man race. Right? That's basically like that. I think to me, it's Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to drop a one more thing in the next few days on Victor. The thing I will say is his defense is already there. His offense is going to be at that level. Chet's going to be on a better team, so he's probably going to get a little bit more love in that regard. Chet qualifies for Rookie of the Year. He didn't play last season. He's still a rookie. But Victor's going to do something on a nightly basis. It's going to drive you nuts. Like, it's just going to break the internet. Like, Chet might do something here and there. But Wemby's going to do stuff 3 or 4 times a week. We're going to be like, I've never seen this before. Oh, my God, this is unbelievable. Da-da-da-da-da. So I kind of just say this is going to be Victor in a cakewalk. So this is free money right now. Scoot's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be good enough. It's not even hype for his stats. I think he's going to put up numbers. I think Victor's going to put up numbers, Demo. Like, what we're seeing in preseason is what I thought we would see at Summer League. Right? And I just think, for me, it's a no-question deal. He is definitely winning Rookie of the Year. Okay? So, let me go. I'm going to actually check the odds for the next one. Okay, but Demo, who's a real center? Who's a real center? He's not guarding him. Like, if we want to have the conversation, we can have the conversation. That's funny, Hellboy. But, like, I don't feel like he's not guarding Jokic. He'll be out on the wing. And that might be a problem for the Spurs defensively for a while. He's not guarding Embiid. I think I don't think so, Darkness. I don't think the hype is going to be the thing that if it's remotely close, I think it's going to be Wemby. If it might come down to games played, but if it's remotely close, it's going to come down to Wemby. Yeah, I'm probably with Demo on that. It will be that. Again, part of this too is nightly highlights. Right? And Chet might come on strong towards the end. Kind of like what Jalen Williams did against Paolo Banchero last year, which was dumb, by the way. Paolo Banchero was Rookie of the Year hands down from the beginning. There was no question. But I think that's a very interesting view of it. But I think the way I would look at it is this is Wemby's to lose. Chet, I think, is probably the second best option, and I think Scoot's third. And I like Scoot. I'm in on Scoot. I think Scoot's going to be really good. I think he's going to be really good. I'm face of the franchise type guy. Oh, man, they moved the odds up here again. I should have done my homework, guys. You guys should fire me. Oh, no. Nope. Still good. Still good on the next award. Playback's going to be interesting. I didn't move the market, Gatto. I just kind of, I haven't done anything. Playback will be fun. Seth and I still have to figure out what we're doing, and how we're doing it. And again, come join us there as well. Like, guys, I need all the support I can. It's going to be fun. And then God knows what conversations we end up having when a game is just awful. And if I yell at anybody again about movies. I hope I don't yell at people again. That's not nice of me. I need to be a better person. It's that simple. My Apple Watch battery is loaded. Let's go to the next award. Oh, I didn't. So for me, it's Wemby. Let me just do it this way. Let me get to that screen too. Okay, for me, it's Wemby. Oh, what a great question, Demo. When will Trey Lyles time? The first Trey Lyles game. That's such a good one. That's a great question. I wish we could bet that. All right, for me, it's Wemby. Take the odds where you can. I'm going with that. I did get a little bit overexcited watching Scoot in the Summer League and might have put money down on Scoot. Kind of regret it now. Oh, God, Mo. Can you spell? This is why I need an editor. All right, Defensive Player of the Year. Jaren Jackson won it last year. He's coming in as the favorite on FanDuel, tied to be the favorite with Evan Mobley, which I find interesting at plus 600. Evan Mobley, second on FanDuel, 650. Giannis 750 both sides. Bam. Anthony Davis. Drew Holiday very low on FanDuel. Higher on DraftKings. If you're gonna bet Drew, do it on FanDuel. If you are that confident in Drew, do it on FanDuel. Mikal Bridges, very low on FanDuel, a little higher on DraftKings. Same thing there. I made a prediction last year. I thought Ben Simmons was going to win Defensive Player last year. Obviously, he barely even played. Like that was we know how that one went. I think Gobert scared a lot of people away, Demo, but I also think there's questions of Minnesota. Here's the deal. Defensive Player of the Year almost always goes to a big man. Right? Like that's where it is. I think Drew Holiday is the best perimeter defender in the league. I think Mikal Bridges is coming up that way and is going to be up there in that regard. I think Marcus Smart, Darkness, I think people kind of look at the one he won as a flawed Defensive Player of the Year voting. And that year it probably should have been Drew Holiday, to be honest with you. But I think and also with Jaren Jackson on the team kind of takes away votes from Marcus Smart. I like the Mobley pick, but I don't think that's where I'm going. I think the easy pick. I have a dark horse, Funky, and I'm going to throw that out there at the end. And I just love Badger Butt. Just Funky Badger Butt. What a great handle you have. It delights me when I see that. I struggle with names, reading. I probably read at like a third grade level. I certainly write at a first grade level. But I just see that, and it makes me happy. With all of that stuff. So, Giannis, to be honest, look, do you mean Brook Lopez is a dark horse, Philly? The Bucks have lost a ton defensively. So, really, for them to be good defensively, it's going to be on Giannis. So, I think that's an interesting one. That's a good value there at 750. I think the easy one is Bam. I think that's the one that's going to end up doing it. I got Matt doesn't listen to me. I think the thing about Brook, and here's my thing, and this is my concern about the defense of the Bucks too. Last year they were a primary drop team, and this is under Bud, right? New coach. We got to see how Adrian Griffin did. He threw out some zone stuff against the Lakers in the preseason game when they had Dame and Giannis out there. So we'll see some zone and things like that. But for Brook, the problem is in those pick and rolls, when he's playing drop, it's totally different when Drew Holiday's fighting over the top of the screens versus Damian Lillard. Right? And I think that's a big issue. And I think that's something that people aren't really paying attention to. But I think that's something that it's going to be hard for Brook in drop coverage if they stay into that. If they can kind of, if he fights over the top. Demo, I have to look it up because I know who you're talking about, and I should look up his numbers here in a second. He's not my dark horse, but he's probably a really good bet. So I think that's why I take Brook out. Giannis is going to have to be unbelievable defensively for this team if they're going to be an unbelievable defensive team. But I don't know if he's going to have that juice. I just think Bam does it all defensively for that team. It's not a great one. I also think Anthony Davis might be right in the mix. Like, I would probably say if I was putting money on this, I'd probably throw it there. I think Miami is going to be better than we think. I think they're not going to be as good as Miami thinks, and I think they're not going to be as bad as everybody else thinks. I think they're going to be in the middle. That's the concern with AD. Hellboy, right. Is he going to play the 65 games? I think that's the concern. But if we're just looking at it, I think that way. Darkness, I'm not going with Drew because I just don't think they're going to give it to a guard again. I think it's going to be a while before they give it to a guard. That's really my opinion of that. Okay. I think Bam just does a great job covering everything. Badger, and I think that's an important thing there. It's not an easy one. This one's, as Demo said, this isn't an easy one. This is one where I'm going with dark horses. Okay? And I'm going to go here first so you guys don't see the name I type in. And I'm going to just say, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, wrong button. Just to help you out, Demo, because you were asking if a rookie could win it, right? It was you asking about Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama plus 1,400 on FanDuel. And is my guy not even on the list here? No, that's not where I want him. This is where I want him. That's not my dark horse. Victor Wembanyama is not my dark horse, but that's actually a really good bet, to be honest. I'm putting in the other name. Okay. All right. So Looney would be funny, but no. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm back on the Ben Simmons bandwagon, baby. I'm back. The way I look at it is he looks really healthy. He looks like he's moving well. At some point I got to be right. Darkness, it's if you are a fan of Cinephobe, just the drop that Mays plays, I just can't quit you. Yeah, I just can't quit you. I just think defensive and look, guys, like look at the numbers. Like just throw $10 on there. Throw $20 on there. Like whatever. It's a dark horse. But if he's healthy, that's a big difference. That's big for them. That's big for Brooklyn. And defensively, that goes a long way. I don't know. We'll go into some clips of him, in the next few days. He won't be good enough to win MVP, but I think Defensive Player of the Year might be right up there. Oh, can he win Most Improved? I don't think he'll win Most Improved. Nobody will give him that. But he's right up there with that. To answer the question about I should look up Wemby's odds. God, I'm so bad at that. On DraftKings for Defensive Player of the Year. So give me a second with that one. Wemby's a pretty good one, though. By the way, Rudy Gobert plus 1,400 on Defensive Player of the Year on DraftKings. Wembanyama plus 2,000. FanDuel has, let me see, where is Rudy? Has him at plus 2,000 for Rudy Gobert as well, guys. Just so you guys, I know some of you, I should have probably put him on the list. I didn't. Yeah, guys, that's where I'm at with that. I think we're going to move to the next award. This one's a tough one for me. Actually, no, it's not. I'm pretty sure I know who I'm going with. So the thing about Coach of the Year, it's what coach really kills, exceeds over expectations. Oh, no, Oscar, I think it's wrong. I think guards should win it very often. I think guards need to be right in the mix with that. We almost have to split it at that point. I think guards are more valuable. I think guards and bigs are extremely valuable defensively. I think you need them both. Mark Dagnall is the Oklahoma City coach. Darkness. That's who he is. And he's the favorite to win Coach of the Year. Because, again, everybody's expecting them to improve. As am I. And I think that's the important thing there. Plus 750 on FanDuel, plus 650 on DraftKings. Adrian Griffin comes in right underneath him. Plus 900. FanDuel, 700 on DraftKings. I don't think he's winning it. Right? I don't think he's winning it. They have Dame. They have Giannis. I think that's a tough one there for him. Joe Mazzulla, if you're expected to be the number one seed in the East, hard for you to kind of beat that, right? If he just uses his timeouts correctly, people will probably want to give it to him. Kid, I don't think he's that good of a coach. This is a very interesting bet. Rick Carlisle, I think people are sleeping on how good Indiana is going to be. Rick Carlisle is a really good bet there. And again, it's not always just about being the best coach. Because if it's about being the best coach, Eric Spoelstra should have won this award 12 times. He's never won it at all, right? Rick Carlisle, this team is going to exceed expectations. I think that's the thing that people have to understand is they're going to exceed expectations. They would have been a playoff team last year if they were healthy. Darkness, I wish he would. They just never give it to him, man. He should have. I mean, he didn't win it last year, but there were years where he should have won it that they didn't. I don't know, man. So for me, I really like Rick Carlisle, especially at 2,500. That's a big number right there for DraftKings. Nick Nurse, I'm sorry. This Philly team is going to be a disaster. I would stay away. Frank Vogel's interesting. If he gets their defense up and gets some defending at a high level, he'll definitely earn some honors. Ime, Jamal Mosley are two guys to keep an eye on with all of this stuff. I think I'm going to go with Rick Carlisle as who I would bet. And if you want to throw money on Spo, you can. If you think he's going to be really good. If you think the Heat are going to exceed expectations, do it there. I like this. I like where we're at with Carlisle. I think Carlisle, it's just good value. Again, you throw $10 on it, you win $250 if he wins, right? If you do DraftKings. So I think that's one of those things. Here's the thing, Demo. I don't think Ham's going to get credit. If their Lakers are really good, it's because LeBron and AD were healthy all season. I don't think they're going to credit Ham with that. And I think that's an important one. I think Utah takes a step back, so I'm not really that big on Hardy. He's a great coach, but I don't think that the team is going to be as good as everybody thinks. I think the Udoka, yeah, but I don't think Houston is going to be very good. Right? I think he's the coach candidate for next year. Kid, I mean, Kid's on the hot seat, man. Kid's range is so wide, right? Coach of the year could get fired. Like it's just the variance is too much for me with all of that stuff. So I'm going Rick Carlisle. I like what I've seen from them. I think it's going to be interesting. I think that's where I'm at with Coach of the Year award. I'm not up on Jenkins. I don't think I think he's not been. I need to see what they do offensively. Like I don't feel like they've done a lot. Willie's nice and he's been a good coach. I think the problem for Willie again, it's like nobody knows what to do with New Orleans. Right? And we'll review these. We'll go, guys, wow, my voice cracked. Remind me, January, let's go see where I'm at with these win totals and these awards. Like, how off am I? And if I'm right about Ben Simmons, all of you can apologize. If I'm wrong, I will just deny, and I will burn all the tapes. I'm going to run a quick ad. 30 seconds. Nina, kind of, my voice is cracking. Sound like I'm a teenager. And then we will go to go into the next couple of awards. I think we only got 2 left, and then we'll do last questions. Whew, where was my water? See if you guys, for those that are now subscribed, I'll pull this down so you can see the dog. Can you see my dog? He's just chilling. He's just, that's all he's doing. That's all he cares about. And then as soon as I'm done, he'll start looking at me going like, hey, man, what about me? But yeah. All right. We are done with the ad. We got an Xbox ad. We got a Froza Motorsport ad. Okay. That was a Twilight Zone moment. I mean, so obviously you guys have seen it. I'm in an old house. right? I'm in the garage of my dad's house, basically. And it's, if you want the funny story, during the pandemic, video became a thing all of a sudden, right? Like I was always doing podcasts. So I now do videos and Zooms and all that stuff. Very much 1970s vibes, Gatto. Um, and I went on the Kamenetsky's brothers, excuse me, like show and it's video. And I got killed for the wood paneling. While on that show, I ordered the green screen. Um, so I ended up, so I try to hide it as much as I can and then forget from time to time. And that's why I have a green glow around me. On Zoom, I can do the virtual background, which I learned, and then I don't have to have the green screen up, but nobody cares about all this stuff. Let's go into more of the important stuff, which is why you're here, which is the awards. All right. I hate this next award. Some little lagging again, demo. Okay. Well, only so much I can do. I'm hoping I won't have problems with video. We're going to find out. All right. So let's go. Sixth man of the year. I kind of hate it because it's always Gunners. It's always Gunners. Yeah, it'll be interesting when I start doing. Man, my voice is cracking. I am like 15 again. There's always Gunners on this team, on who win these awards, right? The Lou Williams, Jamal Crawfords of the world. I don't even remember who won it last year. Who won it last year? So the odds-on favorite is Emmanuel Quickly, 850 on FanDuel, 800 on DraftKings. Yeah, that's right. Brogdon won it. Not a Gunner. Interesting. Norman Powell comes in second for Toronto, 900 and 1,000. Derek White, 1,100, 1,200. That's assuming he doesn't start. And I still think there's a chance he starts. Because if I'm Boston, I actually would try to save Al Horford as much as possible and would start Kristaps Porzingis. I'd go Derek White, Drew Holiday, Tatum, Brown, Porzingis. And try to limit Horford's minutes as much as possible. Horford's old, man. We just forget. He looks great, but he's old. But anyway, so Derek White's kind of scary for me because I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know the rotations well enough. I'm confident he's gonna come off the bench. Malik Monk's interesting. Malcolm Brogdon, I don't see him winning it again. We don't even know what team he's gonna be on. That's part of the reason why FanDuel has the odds so high. Right? Chris Paul at 1,900 and DraftKings 2,000. Bobby Portis 2,100, DraftKings 1,500. I'm sure there's going to be a dark horse that comes out of nowhere with this one. Right? I mean, Oklahoma City's stacked. Maybe Josh Giddey ends up going to the bench. That'd be an interesting one for sixth man of the year. I'm very high on the Warriors. I'm going Chris Paul. Because I think if the Warriors are going to reach the level they're going to need to reach, Chris Paul needs to come off the bench. And I think that's why I'm going with CP. And even then, I'm not that confident. I'm probably staying away in general from this award. But I think CP will settle into coming off the bench, and I think he's going to absolutely make everybody's life easier after that. Kuminga's looked good in preseason. I think he's going to make Clay's life easier when they play in the second unit and they're staggered. And the other thing, too, and I think people don't even realize this, Steph Curry has never had as good of a passer on his team as Chris Paul. Draymond's great. Chris Paul's a better passer. And I think that's an interesting dichotomy. I think he is going to get the ball in his hands perfectly and on time, almost there. J-Mac, that's a fair one there if he plays 65 games. The other one I like is Malik Monk. I like Monk at that number that he has. But I'm willing to bet CP does play 65. I hope they don't play him. What I would hope is they don't play him 32 minutes a game. And that part of it is him coming to that acceptance and kind of playing closer to like 25 minutes, but that's just me dreaming more than anything else. But I think I don't like the other guys as much. Like, Toronto's not going to be good. I don't even know what team Norman Powell's going to be on. Derek White, I'm not even sure if he's going to start or come off the bench. We don't know where he's going to be. I'm not that big on Emmanuel quickly. Melton's not going to do enough. And who knows, Oscar, if the Harden trade ever happens, he might be in the starting lineup, right? Like that's too much of a gamble with that. So kind of just got to go with that. So sixth man of the year, I'm going there. I'm not in on the Gabe Vincent one. I don't think he's going to do enough to win sixth man of the year. He might, but I just don't think it's there. So let's go to I think the last one, the most improved one. Again, this award I hate. There are two names on here I like. I think the most obvious one right now, the most obvious winner is going to be Mikal Bridges. Plus 1,000 on DraftKings is pretty interesting. I think the even DraftKings plus 750. We saw him kind of what it looks like when he has when the ball was basically in his hands and he could do whatever he wanted in Brooklyn. I think that mattered and that allowed him to kind of be the guy. Reeves, I don't think is going to get most improved. I think that's going to kind of falter. I'm not in on Jordan Poole. I don't know if Tyrese Maxey's going to take a step the way people think he is. I'm not that big on Max. I like Maxey. I think people are going a little bit too far. That type of player, and this is more not even about the award, but just that type of player is not helpful in the playoffs. Gets targeted defensively, and it's like I just don't feel like he's a guy I would trust in the playoffs. That's just my own bias with him. I like him. I think he's good change of pace guy. I want him coming off the bench and give me that stuff, but I don't see that's going. Cade Cunningham's basically in his second year. Right? He barely played last year. That's an interesting one. Scotty Barnes, everybody was down on last year. I don't think Toronto is going to be very good. I think it's going to be a tough year for him. Unless they trade OG Anunoby or Siakam, I just don't see us going there. Let's look up Kuminga, Hellboy, because that's a good dark horse. Lowry, he's not winning it. I like Evan Mobley and Josh Giddey, though. Both of those numbers, I like them both. I think Mobley's got to show me something offensively. I think Giddey also has got to really – if Giddey shows that his shooting in the past 2 years have gone up, and if he's working with Chip again, his shooting might go up again. Edwards is probably actually a good one to put in there, Philly. Let's go look at his odds and Kuminga's. I'll do that in a minute. What I would say, though, for Mobley, he's got to show a lot offensively, and I don't know if he'll get those opportunities with Donovan and Garland. Giddey, again, if his shooting goes up and shows he could stay on the floor and help space the floor, that goes a long way because he ain't playing any defense. That ain't happening. But he's also going to get a lot of assist numbers with the pick and roll between him and Chet. So that's going to be interesting with those regards. Let's look at those other guys. You can whole flavor. But I don't think Cunningham's going to get it. I know what you're thinking. I don't think he's going to get it. But let's look at the other guys here real quick. Kuminga and oh, man. I don't even think they have. And Edwards might be too good for this award. As a matter of fact, they don't even have it on DraftKings. Kuminga's plus 5,000. Wiseman for MVP. Cobb, you go ahead and do that. No, I think people believe in him. People believe in him. So Kuminga plus 5,000 on DraftKings. Here we at most improved. I'm on a computer. Let's go. Kuminga plus 4,000 on FanDuel. LaMelo's a good one. I mean, look, there's a ton. Like, this is the thing about the most improved stuff, right? Like, you're guessing. Who's taking the leap? Who looks great? LaMelo would be a good one to throw out there. Same for Jalen Green. Like, there's a lot of stuff. I think another name who I should have included on the list, who I like, Jabari Smith, plus 3,500 on FanDuel. Let's see what he's at. Plus 3,500 on DraftKings. That's a good one, too. Keegan Murray, another name. Like, there's just so many names we could throw out there. I go look at the list, but you are just guessing. This is throwing darts at a dartboard type deal. Wemby, darkness, now you're being silly. All right, guys, we're nearing the end. We're at 50 minutes almost. Let's go ahead and do last call for questions. Just anything you want to talk about. Anything you want. I'm not doing Clutch Award because I hate the award. Hellboy. If you want to just throw a bet out there, Dame. Dame is going to win it at some point. And he's the guy that's going to be shooting the shot for the Bucks at the end of games. Okay, Demo, I hear you, but I actually don't agree with you. The way I kind of look at it, and this is important. I did not talk Vezinkov, Cobb. He's interesting, but I don't think he'll get enough minutes. The thing about it is, he can come back to the NBA after he gets cleared of whatever or whatnot. But teams don't want that. And I think there's an element of, hey, like, let the investigation come to its end and its conclusion or whatnot. But, like, Oklahoma City doesn't need him. Right? They're trading him to just get 2 more draft picks, second round picks, right? That's basically what they did. I think the challenge in sort of like, hey, the investigation's still ongoing. Why did you suspend him? I think it's just, you know what? It's a bad look. And this is a dude that's had problems everywhere he's gone. For a team in general, Cleveland gave up on him and gave him to Houston for nothing. Right? And I think and then Oklahoma, and then, you know, he's had issues in the locker rooms. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff there. So, you know, waiving him, I'm not too hard pressed about. I don't feel for him on that regard. Guys, remind me about your SC questions towards the end. I'm going to do some of the basketball questions, and then I'll go back to the SC questions. So if I forget your SC question, come back in the end. John Collins might be interesting. Why am I higher on the Warriors? I just think they have the ability to play different ways. I think Jordan Poole really hurt them last year more than helped them. The punch was obviously a massive one, and that's on Draymond, not Poole. But I just mean Poole's play on the court hurt them a lot. And I think having a more steady hand in Chris Paul manning that second unit really helps the second unit and helps the first unit, because then it allows them to rest Curry a little longer. Right? Like, the urgency to bring Curry back in may not be as high. And I think, for me, they're a dark horse for me for a title contender. I don't know if they win it, but they're a dark horse for me with all that. I mean, it's demo, but there's no guarantee with that stuff, right? And these investigations sometimes go really long. Right? Just get him out of the locker room, get him away from your team, done with him. I don't think there's much to that. Wave him, whatever, they ended money. It's pennies. He wasn't making like a massive amount of money, if I remember correctly. Expectations for Jamal Murray's regular season. I think he's gonna be good. Right, great stuff there from me, Oscar. No, I think just coming back second year with more fluidity, more flow. I think he'll have a good year. I don't think the Denver Nuggets are going to put their foot on the gas, though. And I think they're going to kind of take it easy a little bit. Tips for Coach of the Year, you know how I feel, man. I just don't think he'll do it. Although, go read the Fred Katz piece on The Athletic talking about them trying to run and play faster. That'll be interesting for them. Preseason finals prediction. I think coming out of the East is Boston. And, I mean, I still think it's Denver. This is going to be the year Murray makes the All-Star. I think they don't come to an extension agreement, but I think he re-signs with the Warriors next season. But I don't know the number. Not like about what Draymond got, probably. Do you take Jamal Murray or Dame if you want to win a championship? That's a tough one. I probably will go Dame, but I mean, Murray just won a championship, so. So I think Boston I think they have the best top 6, and we're assuming good health, knock on wood. The scenario for them is that they find a way. I mean, they just have defense and offense. Like they're kind of complete if they can stay healthy. I'm going to say over Cobb on that, but I think by a little bit more. I haven't had a chance, Sake, to watch them too much in preseason, but I like that they brought in Jeff Van Gundy as a consultant, and I got to go see what they do offensively. I've been kind of in and out of preseason all year. Who's a realistic trade candidate that can shake up favorites? It's a good one. I don't know, J-Mac. I'm sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you with that. Most disappointing team bet this season. Might surprise everybody, but I'm going to go Memphis. Just too much weird stuff going on. He won't do that right away, Hellboy, but he's going to be interesting. He's going to make you pay attention. He's going to be on a lot of highlights. It looks like the NBA questions are slowing down, so I'll just do a couple of the SC ones. What stood out to me about South Bend? Everybody was super friendly. It was really nice out there. I'm very thankful it didn't rain. It was projected that it was going to rain for a while. You know what? I liked it all. Touchdown Jesus is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive mural. With all that, I didn't actually make it to the Golden Dome and actually there, but the campus was just really nice. And I spent as little time as possible there. The other thing, my impressions or what I think of the USC season so far. I think the big concern for me, I mean, we got to get the offense back on track. The defense isn't good. I know it's not. If I had to make a prediction, I think we beat Utah this week. I think we beat Oregon but lose to Washington. And I think the interesting thing here is, though, I also think we're going to get the offense back on track. One thing that's kind of surprised me here a little bit is I haven't seen a lot of creativity from Lincoln Riley offensively. And now I'm very far from a football X's and O's guy. So, but having been to I just haven't been really blown away with our stuff, and our offense has really sputtered really the last few weeks. Like I was kind of expecting. No, Oregon is a road game, but I think we'll beat Oregon in Oregon. Maybe that's just me being blind. Washington's a home game, and I think they're going to beat us pretty good. I think Washington's the best team in the Pac-12. But there's just a lot of hate for Oregon. But I think really just for us, we've been due for this game, this kind of blowout game. and Caleb's been due for a bad game. Wish it didn't happen when I went to freaking all the way to Chicago. But anyways, um, yeah, guys, I think that's it. Uh, like thoughts on South Bend as what, like a city? Like it's a college town. Like it was cool. Um, look, my group of friends and I, we took a limo there, went to the game, walked around, crashed a few tailgates, watched our teams get their butt kicked, took a limo home. Didn't hang much longer after that. So, yeah. All right, guys. We're going to shut it down here now. Um, we will take a see what my schedule is tomorrow. We'll probably be back tomorrow around this time. We'll do some video clips. We'll I'll try to put some video stuff together and things like that. Be on the lookout for a one mo thing to drop. Again, just gonna ask it again. Support it as much as you can. YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're watching One Mo Thing, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Come in here on Twitch. If you like what you saw, follow me. If you really like it, go ahead and subscribe. Gonna do some of that. We're gonna do a broad range of stuff, Walrus. Um, but we're gonna kind of run through a lot of things. I think just slowly start to kind of get back into the flow of everything. Um, and we'll go from there, guys. But yeah, get ready for some fun stuff here. And it's going to be a fun season. And yes, thank you so much for coming through, always making the chat awesome. And even though we got our butts kicked, fight on.